Alrighty, boys and girls. Today I wanted to do a short video on shoulder bump. I ran into a problem with some ammo that I got. I bought some components. Let me fix that up. There you go. I bought some components, and the ammo that I got was with the components. I had bought some once fire brass, and then the guy threw in some loads for nothing, some reloaded ammo, which I got here. I can show you guys. That's what he threw in. Nice box and a bunch of ammo. So here was the problem that I ran into. Was I went to try and chamber one of these loads in my Ruger American Predator, and I couldn't close the bolt. So I started doing some measurement. Like, I know what my preferred shoulder bump is, and let me just turn that glare. There we go. Got rid of the glare. And where was it? Yeah, so I know what my shoulder bump I want to bump my shoulders back to. So I decided to check these. I prefer, I think as fired, my gun's around 1.554 inches or 555 inches. And I would say probably mostly more than likely is 1.554. So I had a little bit of trouble doing the measuring because of the way Eric Cortina explained it, which was spot on. I couldn't do it because I didn't want to rip apart my bolt. So I got pretty close. I'm thinking with like a 3 thou pushback on the shoulder that I'm going to end up with 1.551 inches. So the one that I got was 1.556. And I measured that. Like, you can't do this without the proper tools. And I spent a little bit of money on tools, I'm not going to lie. But I measured that with this. And this measures, let me turn it on, the shoulder bump that I'm looking, or not the shoulder bump, but it measures your shoulder distance. Like, there's a reason why Hornady makes this stuff, because it's important. So I zeroed that up, and I'll put this in. And there it is. I know it's backwards, but it's 1.556. That's too big. It won't chamber. And that's the device there. What I'm using is the A330 mandrel or adapter. I don't know what they call it. Bushing. You don't have to have this anvil. I like it. It makes things way quicker, way easier. So that's a dead hard no-go. That will not go. The one that does go in my particular firearm is right there, 1.551, and it goes. So that's what we're after. So I have to set up I got to use the bullet puller. I got to pull all these apart. I'm going to go one row at a time, and then I'm going to reseat or push back the shoulder. Now, the only thing I got to figure out, I'm going to do some quick research, is if I can push. I should be able to push back without the pin out, with the pin out. So I'm going to give it a try. If not, I got to decap live rounds, and I'm not sure how to do that. So I'm going to have to go online and figure that out, because I got a universal decapper. Also, there's the decapper that's in the. I'm thinking I could just pull the pin out, right? I should be able to just pull the pin out of the die. I'm thinking. What do I do with the die? I set it down. Is this the die? No, that's my Hornady bullet seeder. I got a micrometer coming for this. I paid out the ass for it. I'm not going to lie to you. But I really, I like the ability to dial it in. And this way it's segmented, and it looks a lot better. So I think if I take this apart and pull out the pin, I should be okay. That's awful long. Yeah, I should be okay. It shouldn't go all the way down. I'm going to try it and see. I'll wear safety glasses. But if I take the depriming pin out, I can still run the shoulder. And I don't know, would you deprime a live primer? I'm not sure. Just the act of that might cause it to go off, right? I don't know. I'm going to go online and look and see, because that's kind of important. So then what I'll be doing is pushing the shoulder back with this, and that's a bit of a fun game. I'll give you a real quick. So you'd put it in here, and then you do your first initial setup. Take your measurement. This is a Lyman T-Mag, by the way. It's discontinued because now it's 8 station instead of 6. But I like this thing. It's like a tank, and older is better. I'm telling you, just like me, older is better. So where were we? Yeah. So I'll resize it, and then we'll bullet seed it. So I'll show you. Like, Eric's got this covered 9 ways to Sunday, and I don't want to just keep ripping off everybody else's ideas, right? So I'm gonna work on this, and then I'm gonna figure out, first of all, can I do it? Can I do what I want to do? Should I deprime or should I not? So I'm gonna try. I'll set this up, and then I'll set up for the first one. Stand by. Okay, I wasn't able to use the bullet puller in the turret press because this swings around and gets in the way, and I'm not worth doinking around. Maybe I could set it up, maybe I can't. I'm not doing it. So I switched it over to the, what is this one? It's a Rock Crusher? Or CBS. Yeah, Rock Crusher 2. And I put it in there because it's just way easier. I'm too tired for this crap. I bought this thing, I don't know, somewhere. I don't know if I'm missing a primer, if I own that or not. Anyway, yeah, there we go. So I got one built. Put it back together. I got the bump. I got the overall. I can't do the ogive because I don't know the ogive dimension for this particular round where it works. I guess I could figure it out now. I got the first one done. Yeah, I can. I got the first one done, so I can do the ogive because the first one is done by overall. Well, it doesn't work in the rifle. We don't know that because we haven't fired it, right? But I mean, we can chamber it. That's the big thing. So that one's pulled. He said 28 grains of powder. And let's just see, get this settle down. And I'll re-zero it, because why not? And then I'll pour in the powder, and we'll see where we're at. So he's half a grain out. Yeah, the other one wasn't, it was different too. So they're not, they're 27.5. According to my scale. Well, that's half a grain. That makes a big difference at 2.0, especially a small round like 2.04. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so just so you know I'm not lying, stand by and I'll show you. There you go, 1.55. Well, 1.551 so I don't know that half though. We're really starting to split the difference there. There's, is that 2/10? 1/10. 1555.1. So yeah, where are we going with this? Close enough, right? It's just shoulder bump. So I got 15515. That's where it likes to be. 55510. There it is. Just tweak it a little bit. That's what we wanted. That's what I said I wanted, and that's what I got. So that's reworked. I'm going to try another one. I'm so happy with it. And sorry guys, I didn't mean to do that. I had to put the Rock Crusher there, so it's kind of in the way. Yeah, that's just weird. Yeah, so there's where we are. It's working. So I pulled the primer pin out. I can't show you all this stuff. Really, I can show you my result, but I can't show you how to do it because YouTube will whack this. So there it is. It can be done. The round is put back together again. I believe it's a functioning round. We're going to give it a shot. I mean, what the heck, right? So I'm just going to move these over by one and then put them all back. I got a little bit of work to do all these. So the basis of this whole video was you got to be careful. These are somebody else's round. I did pull it apart and measured it. He's half a grain out. Maybe I'll set the trickler up and trickle those up to 28 because that's what he said. The other one did go to 28. This one's staying at 27.5 grains. But the problem was the shoulder bump, and and if you or the shoulder dimension, that's because I believe this brass that he gave me was neck size only, and it wasn't a full length resize. So with the full length resize, it'll put it. You can put it to where you want it. So be careful shooting somebody else's brass. If in doubt, run it through, because all the stuff that I got, I tumbled it, ran it through. But these, like I said, these rounds were already assembled. So I think that's where we got into the trouble. Like it did mark the bolt slightly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm heartbroken about it, but I mean it's not really gonna. It's a tiniest little gull on one lug. But I'm gonna tell you right now, be very careful with cranking that bolt down. If it doesn't go nice, you know the feel of your own gun, guys and gals. You know that your firearm. You know how it's supposed to feel in your piece of gear. So be careful. Check. Can we rework these? It seems to be between the lineman turret T. It's been using the lineman turret T and the rock crusher to do this. So I'll run a few more and then I'll do a closing on the video. But anyway, stand by. Oh, that's way. Okay, boys and girls, here's the rundown. We were able to fix everything. We were able to put it back the way it was. I used my Hornady tools on my verniers. They work perfect, so I can set everything up. I can get my measurements. It's tough to get 1 thou adjustments out of a full length die. You got to really play around with it. You barely see the movement when you're screwing it down to change, or screwing it up, sorry, to change the doesn't matter, up or down, to change what you're getting as far as your shoulder measurement. Yeah, so it did work out. I'm happy with it. I'm going to be able to save all those rounds and to rebuild them. Yeah, the only thing I can say is that bullet puller beats the heck out of a kinetic hammer. And have multiple verniers. You're going to need 1, 2 for sure. 3 is nice. Spend a few bucks on them and see what you get, because I have cheapies and I have good ones. That's a minute to you. That's an expensive one. That's another minute to you. That's an expensive one. This is a dial. That's a lineman. Came with some stuff I bought. This is a cheapie for Amazon type of thing. It's an STM. Probably that's all you really need. So if you want, this is a big number one. So is these guys. But this is even bigger. And you know what? That one's not the same size. Is it the same size though? No, that's even bigger. So there you go. Bigger's better. Anyway, you got to have the equipment to do the job. I'll put the links in the description below. I got most of the stuff from either Cabela's or Bass Pro. It's up here in Canada. I got most of the stuff from them, or Scamazon. So yeah, go ahead. One quick thing, I got to show you what I'm using. That's the Jake Design powder funnel. That's his deal right there, 204 Ruger. That's what it's specifically designed for. It works like magic. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, check back off, and hopefully YouTube doesn't hammer the hell out of this video. I'm going to throw it up right now, and then that way, yeah, it keeps the channel rolling. So take care. Thanks for tuning in. You know, pew pew, keep them straight.